Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, also streaming on the Odyssey app and live stream on Facebook, X, YouTube. Just Mark Hoke Show, the Mark Hoke Show. Just find us real quick and you can get in that chat box and say hi to me and my good friend. And I got to tell you, we just got to make some sort of super team at this point because we're all just that darn good. You know, with people like Rick Ucchino, who's going to be on the show, and of course Phil Stamper, and so many great guys that we've had join us here. But I got the man Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, does that great show down in Austin, Texas. If you haven't listened, Stu is fantastic. Does just a in-depth, exciting show. So make sure you check that out. And you can follow him on X at Stu Myrick, as with a EW, not the it's the ooh, yeah, Stu Myrick. What's going on?
What's up, man? Rick Ucchino comes on my show every now and again. Love talking to Rick. Huge Bengals fan too, which it's the Bengals. But yeah, we need to have kind of do a roundtable one of these days.
Well, I've got some ideas. So
okay,
working on. The daughter's back in school finally, thank God, and she's riding.
School has started.
Yeah, she's riding the bus too this year.
Really?
I'm not driving her 25 minutes to a school. I am dumping her off on the big yellow school bus. So good luck, kiddo. Have fun. She's actually not minding it too much, but that's how it goes. But, hey, we're very happy to have you joining us. And I just want to remind everybody, during this hour, we're going to be giving away tickets to Wrestle Connects. It's Wrestling Fandom's Convention and Expo here on Saturday, September 14th, 10 to 5 p.m. We have unbelievable stars of this, like Ted DiBiase, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Maria Kanellis, D'Lo Brown, Brian Cage, Kenny King, Lisa Marie, used to also known as Victoria or Tara, depending on where she was wrestling, and so much more. And me. You get to come say hi to me, which would be great. So we're going to be giving away tickets sometime this hour. Here's the number, 702-257-5396. 702-257-5396. When I tell you to, you can start calling, and you can win a 4-pack of tickets to Wrestle Connects. It's going to be an awesome show. So even if you don't win, we still want to see you down there.
Sounds awesome. I got to drink with Greg Valentine.
Oh,
the very first time I went to Colorful Alley Club back in 2018, him and George Napolitano, the legendary photographer, George's dear friend, and we were there. I forget what the place is called, but we were there. It has the TGI Fridays, and the three of us shared a cocktail. It was nice.
Nice. Just hope he didn't punch you in the ear.
No. We did get a picture. He showed off his Hall of Fame rings.
Nice.
So
yeah, if you don't know what that reference was, Greg Valentine and Roddy Piper got in a big dog collar match feud a while back.
The very first Starrcade.
Yep, and Greg pummeled that ear for about 100 and some matches before they finally did it at Starrcade. I mean, it's just horrifying for Roddy. I don't know how he survived that with that ear still intact, but I remember Greg Moore for his the feud. I mean, when I first started wrestling, it was the feud with Tito Santana for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and how crazy that got. Saw him wrestle the Junkyard Dog, and when I was a kid, and got my first thrill of seeing a referee getting that close in the Hershey Park Arena to the Junkyard Dog winning the Intercontinental title, but no go. There were other title changes at Hershey, though. People liked some fun stuff happened there.
Love JYD. God rest his soul. He left us way too quick. He was one of the best. I got, of course, I saw him when he was big in Mid-South Wrestling. and just, tearing it up there in Shreveport and all over the Arklatex there. But yeah, JYD so phenomenal.
Yeah, we do miss him. Well, you're not going to be missing anything, Stu, because before we get into talking about All In 2024, the big announcement came for All In 2025.
That's right.
It's going to be at Globe Field in Arlington, which is Globe Life Field, where the Texas Rangers play. It's about
the world champion Texas Rangers.
Yeah, not for long, buddy.
They're not great. Yeah, they're not good. But yes.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that series with the Orioles last year. But anyway, Tony made the big announcement. So AEW is doing their first stadium show in the United States next year.
Yep.
So that is pretty intriguing. Stu, your thoughts? I mean, other than you're going to have a nice quick trip there, your thoughts on Tony going to Globe Life?
It's less than 3 hours from here to Globe Life Field there. It's interesting. This will be AEW's first pay-per-view in the Lone Star State. And All In, they're trying to kind of fashion that as it's their WrestleMania. It is interesting. And there was the tie. Apparently the Texas Rangers are a client of Tony's analytics company. So you got that tie in. There was the talk. The rumor started that, Tony was thinking about doing a stadium show in Texas. So, of course, everybody assumed AT&T Stadium. Globe Life is much better. I think, it's, 50, I forget the capacity, it's 50, 60,000. They can definitely do Globe Life Field well. I will be interested to see what the Major League Baseball schedule looks like next year. I'm going to assume the Rangers will be on the road, although that will also be right around All-Star time. So maybe they catch All-Star break. I don't know, but and what's funny is you've got that portion of Arlington. You got AT&T Stadium, you got Globe Life Field, and then you have what is now Choctaw Stadium, which is the former Globe Life Park, the former home of the Rangers. Now it's the UFL team for Dallas. That's their home. And then Arlington High Schools play football there as well. In fact, I did a high school game there a couple years ago with the school I used to work with here in Austin, Lake Travis. So that's going to be big. Obviously, got to see what the card looks like come July of next year. But Tony has always talked about how much he loves bringing shows to Texas. He always gets great crowds, whether it's in Arlington, in Austin, in El Paso. They've been to the Rio Grande Valley and get good crowds and such. They just wrapped up this residency at the Esports Stadium in Arlington. Used to be known as the Arlington Convention Center. Had sold out crowds every week, plus the Ring of Honor tapings there. So I don't think Tony's going to have a problem getting, a sellout at Globe Life. Plus, it's got a retractable roof, so they can open it, they can close it, whatever the weather calls for. I suspect it'll be closed. It's July in Dallas-Fort Worth, so it's going to be hot.
Right.
But I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to look forward to. Of course, they got to get through All In coming up in a week. But, then look forward to All In Texas in July of 2025.
Yeah, and one thing that really intrigued me about this as well is they also announced that they're planning on going back to Wembley for 2026. So they're gonna take a little break from Wembley, and I think they had right around 50,000 tickets sold this time around. I
believe so. And he said London. He did not say Wembley.
That's true.
So could it be Craven Cottage where Fulham FC plays? Could it be another, soccer stadium somewhere around there? I mean, you would assume it's back to Wembley, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and I know that they're catching a little flack for not trying to do AT&T, but I just don't think trying to put that in a 100,000 seat stadium is a realistic thing to do. It would just be, to me, it'd be a terrible business decision.
I agree. Look, trying to do a wrestling show, and I've been to countless events at AT&T Stadium. I used to cover the Cowboys back in the day, and I've been to high school championship games. And look, Texas high school football championship games can get 40 to 50,000 there at AT&T Stadium, which it's fun. A wrestling show there, it makes me think back to when it would be the 20. I'm looking at my little board here. I think it was the 2019 New Japan G1 Climax. They had their first night in Dallas at the American Airlines Center. They only got like 5,000 or 6,000. It looked like an empty arena, and that was a fantastic card. Main event was Okada versus Tanahashi, but it looked like an empty stadium, or an empty arena. I don't think Tony wanted to do that with AT&T Stadium. That's why I say Globe Life Field is the perfect size. 50,000, he can get 50,000.
Yeah, it's actually
it'll look bad. It would look bad at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, it lists the capacity at 40,300, but I'm sure there'll be it's going to be floor seating down there too, so that's going to jack that number up. But yeah, I think that's definitely a doable number. So a good decision by Tony to not go crazy and let his ego get a hold of him and say, we got to do it at AT&T. You got to have a good look, and it's a really nice stadium too. So I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about that.
It is a great stadium. Plus, you got Texas Live right next door. Great place to go get a bite to eat or drink or whatever. They host events. They host a lot of MMA events there as well. So yeah, that whole section of Arlington, like I said, it's just a fantastic place to have events.
Yep. So we'll see how All In 2025 gets rolling, but All In 2024 is almost upon us next weekend. And, I think AEW did a nice job with the build on this, especially the last couple of weeks. I mean, there was one clunker of a Dynamite a few weeks ago. It was kind of, but overall have been doing, I think, a great job getting everybody ready for this card. And boy, I'll tell you, I felt bad. When I interviewed Chris Statlander, I was like, you going to be going after the CMLL title there? And turns out she is not. They're going to get Stokely Hathaway beat up. So that'll be fun.
Right.
But
the Statlander Nightingale, that's going to be at All Out in Chicago.
Yeah. So they saved it.
The mixed tag is supposed to set, the winner gets to pick the stipulation for that.
I wonder who the winner.
That's what they announced last night on Collision.
Yeah, so they'll probably win that match. They'll probably win it.
They'll find a way. That's the way you book these matches. If you're going to have someone get a stipulation, you always book the heels to win so they can pick a stipulation. So the babyface has to climb, has to overcome another obstacle. So look, everybody thinks it's going to be Willow and Ishii getting the victory just because of you got Ishii, you got the Stone Pitbull. But yeah, they're going to find a way to sneak a win, and then Chris will pick some sort of stipulation that goes in her favor, and then we'll see what happens in Chicago.
Yeah, which should be a lot of fun too. More great vignettes from Tony Storm and Mariah May. Boy, that last one Mariah did was just phenomenal. But that one is going to absolutely tear the house down. MJF and Will Ospreay for that American Championship, and MJF has just been running around like Captain America all over the planet. That's been some quality entertainment. We get Jack Perry and Darby Allin, which just got changed to a coffin match. So Darby gets to get another coffin out in Wembley Stadium. Mercedes Moné against Dr. Britt Baker for the TBS title. We have that Casino Gauntlet match. Orange Cassidy will be out there first, but man, I think there's some intrigue on that. Chris Jericho is going to be taking on Hoke for the FTW title. Young Bucks get in a triple threat match for the tag titles. They're going to be taking on FTR and the Acclaimed. We've got a 4-way London ladder match for the Trios Championship. 3 of the teams are decided: Patriarchy, Big Bang Gang, or Big Bang Gang. I've been watching too much Big Bang Theory. Bang Bang Gang and the House of Black plus another team that's going to qualify this week, and then Swerve and Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. First off, let me ask you, Stu, what on this card is intriguing you the most?
I always love the Casino Gauntlet match. That is something that is a match concept that Tony Khan came up with that I really like. Now, it didn't make sense to me that by the virtue of Orange's victory, he gets slot number 1. I would think you would want the final, I guess.
Well, see, the match could
have the final slot, but I guess it just goes until
somebody wins, so somebody could win right away.
Right.
So if you took the last slot, you could get screwed over. So
you may not even make it out to the match. So I guess now that I hear that, okay, now it makes sense. But still, so that one's going to be fun. It always is. Plus, you'll have some surprises. We'll see who shows up. There's a lot of talk about Michael Oku, who's big on the British indie scene. He could make an appearance. We'll see who else. Swerve and Bryan, that one obviously. I have gone back and forth so many times on who wins that. And I'll be honest, I don't know, which is the beauty. That's what you want. You don't want it, you don't want an obvious scenario. You want something, you want intrigue, you want enough of a chance for the underdog. And I think right now Bryan Danielson is probably considered the underdog. So that'll be interesting. The 4-way it's a 4-way and a ladder match for the trio titles.
So that's 12 people.
Yeah,
12 people.
Be,
chaotic.
I feel for Excalibur and those guys to have to try to call that match.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even thought of that. Oh my
Good
God,
Lord, because there's stuff going to be happening all over. They're going to be fighting all over Wembley for that one. Yeah, I think this will be it'll be a fun card.
Yeah, that ladder match, the one thing that I'm more concerned about is safety. That's a lot of people for a ladder match. Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, we've seen over the years that sometimes things go wrong in a ladder match, and with all those people out there going at it, I hope everybody just makes it out all right. That's the big thing for me. You mentioned the Casino Gauntlet match, and I'm almost wondering if there may end up being some sort of cash in or something like that with the winner of that maybe they go after Swerve or Bryan if one of them wins, like maybe Hangman Adam Page if he's in that match. Possibility. It would be entertaining.
That would be entertaining. Now, again, if you believe the talk around the campfire, Hangman Swerve is at least penciled for All Out in Chicago, which of course leads you to believe Swerve's going to retain. So I don't know. I don't know if Tony would do a immediate cash in on Swerve or Bryan, whoever wins the title. I don't know if he would do that. That doesn't feel like Tony's booking.
No, but I would agree.
But hey, stranger things have happened. So
that's the one guy that I could see doing if it was Hangman. So keep an eye on that one. Another just overview on this is, I think one thing that's great about this card is I don't know who's going to win a lot of these matches. I really don't. You start going down the list. We even talked about that opening match with Statlander and Hathaway against Nightingale and Shee. Who's gonna win that one? You've got Tony Storm, Mariah May. I could see either one winning that. MJF and Ospreay. I think Will is probably going to get the win on this, but that could go either way too. And you just keep going down this card, and I'm only seeing maybe one match that I for sure would be willing to say, yes, that is a win, and that's Hook beating Chris Jericho. But and maybe there's a possibility that doesn't even happen either. So this is going to be, this is some great booking that they've done. Unlike maybe sometimes where we see, especially in WWE, and not totally busting their chops, but a lot of the PLEs pretty predictable on who's going to win. This one, man, I've got no idea. None.
And again, as I mentioned, that's what you want. By the way, MJF now, deeming the international championship into the American championship, it gives me, nostalgia back to the days of World Class. The top title in World Class was the American Heavyweight Championship. And of course, one of the visions, I remember Rick Rude, managed by Percy Pringle.
Yep.
Before he was Paul Bearer, with that American Heavyweight Championship belt over his shoulder there he was at Texas Stadium actually for a title match. But yeah, so that's what I like. Again, the fact that you can't really have a slam dunk winner, I think that works whenever you build whatever pay-per-view is, much less your biggest pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great time over at Wembley. God, I wish I was going. It's going to be a very special day for AEW, and not as many tickets as last year, but they've still got a pretty good chunk of people coming to that card.
Look, 50,000 for a stadium show for a wrestling show that is not WWE. That's still a pretty good number.
Yes, it is.
I don't care who you are.
I'm going to give you another good number too, by the way, Stu. That number is 702-257-5396. Is we're going to give away those Wrestle Connects tickets right now. So give us a call at 702-257-5396. Caller number 9 is going to win those tickets, a family 4-pack to go to Wrestle Connects on Saturday, September 14th. See some of your top stars. Stu's got his phone ready to go. So start dialing in, everybody. 702-257-5396. Stick around. We got a whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show with Stu Myrick. We'll be right back.
Looking for high-quality custom screen printing in Las Vegas? Look no further than Off-Grid Creations. Need a few custom t-shirts for a local event, band merchandise, or family reunion? We've got you covered. Large order of uniforms for your staff, sports team, or club? We can handle that too. Our experienced team will work closely with you throughout the entire process from design consultation to final product. Call us at 661-300-1115. That's 661-300-1115. Or visit our website at off-gridcreations.com. Get a free consultation today.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, let's keep this party rolling. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling down in Austin, Texas, joining us on the show. I want to do one more thing with All In, Stu, before we move on from that.
You bet.
Surprise appearances. And you mentioned one from England, but I saw an interesting graphic that somebody put up suggesting Ricochet, Shane McMahon, Bobby Lashley. His contract just ran out this week. Think any of those guys are going to show up? If you had to pick 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, or 3, how many does Tony bring in?
I'm going to say 2 because he's never done more than 2.
Okay.
Ricochet, I think, is a strong possibility. There's, he has been linked to AEW ever since, his contract went up with WWE. So I would say Ricochet. I could see him come out, assuming Will Ospreay does defeat MJF. I could see Ricochet coming out to renew that rivalry.
Oh, which would be great.
You think about that. I think it was a G1 match back in 2018 where they put on an absolute display. So I could see that one. As much as I don't want to see him there, it wouldn't shock me if Shane O'Mac shows up.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. AEW doesn't need him. I really hope that little, meeting that they had in Arlington, I'm hoping that was nothing more than just two wrestling fans getting to know each other. But I don't want to see him in AEW, but Tony's going to do Tony. So it would not shock me.
It would be the best way to introduce him. Oh my God, the stadium would go crazy. But yeah, I definitely see Ricochet showing up. I think he's been out long enough. He's ready to go. Bobby Lashley MVP I would imagine they'd probably bring them in as a combo actually. So I think it'd be fun to get Bobby in there. But I think the thing with Bobby is he's so much better when he's got MVP with him. Just because, Bobby does an okay promo, but MVP being the mouthpiece for Bobby Lashley is great. And if they want to revive a Hurt Business type of stable, man, I'll tell you what, there are people there that they could put something very special together. So I wouldn't be shocked.
There's a picture on social media. This was from a reality wrestling show. I don't know if it was last week or last month, down in the Houston area. Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin together with Booker T. I would love to see that. I don't think Bobby is ready to sign with AEW just yet. He's going to weigh his options. His contract literally just expired, like a week or two ago?
Yeah, last week, yeah.
So, and I think there might be something. There might be in the back of his mind. There might be a little bit of a desire to try MMA again. So I don't think he goes AEW just yet.
He could go show up on a match, an appearance contract with TNA too.
True, he was a former TNA World Champion, so why not?
That would be fun. I hadn't thought of that, but till right now, but that would be interesting. So keep your eyes open, everybody. There's going to be some very shocking moments, I think, coming up at All In. Well, something else that shocked me this week, Stu, was AEW Worlds End is on December 28th in Orlando. Mm-hmm. And WWE announced yesterday, house show, Orlando, on the 28th. This is, I don't know how to feel about this, but they are going to be at the Kia Center, the WWE, so they've got a capacity of about 20,000, and the AEW show is going to be at University of Central Florida's building, so that holds about 10. Mm-hmm. Stu, first, I would assume that probably WWE booked this second. Is this a cool thing to do by WWE? Because I'm not big on it. I think that's really tough to make the fans decide.
It's not. I think it's petty. I think it's I don't like it. But WWE is going to WWE, and I'll be interested to see how what time they schedule these things. We know World's End's probably going to be at night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
They're both at night.
They're both
the SmackDown shows at 7:30.
Man, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be now the one, I guess, advantage is that it's just a house show for WWE versus AEW going on pay-per-view. So it won't be. You probably won't see anything momentous happening at the house show.
See, I might disagree with you on that. I might disagree with you that I think that could end up being one of those John Cena shows. If you're gonna do it, so I'm gonna go WWE's perspective first. If I'm gonna do it, I'm loading that show. I am absolutely loading that house show. I'm sending Punk. I'm sending down John Cena. I am going to put every top star that I can on that show, because if I'm going to be petty enough to do it, I'm going to do it right and put on a big show. So, I mean, that's just my perspective.
Maybe it's a super show. You get folks from both rosters. So maybe you see Cody and whoever the world heavyweight champion is. I'll assume it's Gunther. You send Cody and Gunther. And load it up. Maybe do like at least 4 or 5 title matches or something. Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to take a 20,000 seat facility and book a show that is only going to draw 8.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. So
no, it doesn't.
No, and I will say this on the other side for Tony. You know what? If it were me, I would be sitting around considering changing the time of the show.
Oh, I would too.
I would, and there were some people that probably say, well, that's a sign of weakness. Why aren't you willing to go head to head? If it were me, I would say, you know what? If WWE wants to do a show at the same time as our show, okay, whatever. You know what? Because we care about the fans. And if you want to go see both shows so you don't have to make a decision and you can be a great wrestling fan, we're going to move the pay-per-view to 1 o'clock. We're going to do it at 1 or 2, somewhere in there. So you can hop down the street. It's only 20 minutes away. You want to get tickets for both, go to both and have an awesome day as a wrestling fan in Orlando. And that would be the approach that I would take if I would decide to move the card. And I would be spouting that to the heavens because it makes WWE look like the bad guy in the whole thing.
Yeah, but I don't think Tony's going to do that.
Probably
he's going to try to step up to the challenge, and that World's End card will be loaded. You might see every title they have in AEW and Ring of Honor. It might be nothing but title matches during that pay-per-view.
The pre-show will start at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go.
But it would be an interesting thought for Tony to give everybody a chance to go see both shows. And I just think that schedule on top of each other is just a really cruddy move. So,
oh yeah, it's very petty, but yeah. WWE can do it. They're the big dogs right now. So
that is very true. What else do we have? Oh, I don't want to go. Oh yeah, well, of course the other pay-per-view coming up next in the next week or so is Bash at Berlin. Any thoughts on that bad boy where we got Gunther and Randy Orton, going at it? We got Cody and Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. What do you think? And that mixed tag match, which I think is going to be fun. But what are your thoughts on Bash at Berlin?
I'll be honest. I think I'm looking forward to the mixed tag the most. Cody's not dropping the title. Gunther definitely is not dropping the title. Not in Berlin. So yeah, the mixed tag, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't think they end that feud there. Something tells me Liv and Dom find a way to escape with a victory so they can keep that feud going. I'll be interested to see who else or what else they put, because as of right now, I think that's the only 3 matches they have, right?
Yep, those are the 3 matches right now.
So we don't know about either of the secondary titles. We don't know any tag matches. Women's titles. Got to see who goes after women's titles. Looks like Mi Chen will at least be trying to insert herself into the WWE Women's Championship picture with Nia Jax. We know it won't be the women's world title because Liv Morgan's going to be in the mixed tag. So I'll be intrigued to see what else they build on that card. They've got a week. Still got what, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
basically to build that card. It does feel a little like it is kind of snuck up on them. But I suspect they will put on a good show for the folks in Berlin.
Yeah, and everybody chasing the dreaded Ula Fala. We talked about that. I called that. That thing needs to be lit on fire. It's tearing the Samoan dynasty apart. It's crazy. I mean, did you see and Roman did such a great job if you really paying attention, when he picked that thing up and put it on for a second, I swear to God, it was like he put on the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
You know, it's scary.
It may be the Texan in me, but every time I see it, I think of the string of red peppers. That's me. I don't know. And I'm not a spice guy.
I forgot what that thing's made out of. I know I was looking at it the other day.
It looks like wooden beads. It could be like some sort of wood that is indigenous to Samoa, or at least the South Pacific. If I remember, it's some sort of fruit. Let me see if I can find it. An Ula Fala is a necklace made from sections of the pandanus fruit, which is also known as carpals, phalanges, or keys. So, yes. Sure. All right.
It's fruit.
Okay.
They're fighting over fruit. We got CM Punk and Drew McIntyre fighting over a friendship bracelet. And we got Roman Reigns and the family getting torn apart by fruit.
Yeah. By the way, did you see... So, they had Jacob Fatu finally confront Roman, and Jacob is still wearing the walking boot.
Interesting.
Did you see that on SmackDown?
I didn't notice that he was. Yeah.
He was when Jacob comes out, he's still got the walking boot on. Now, doing all that stuff while wearing a walking boot tells me, okay, maybe that injury wasn't quite as vicious as harmful as we thought. But yeah. And interesting that they had him do it now, because it felt like they wanted to drag that out just a little longer, but I guess maybe they're gonna I guess now's the time and everything's hot, and I still think we're not gonna see a resolution to this. I would think it's gonna go beyond WrestleMania 41 when it goes to your part of the world.
Yeah, I'm very. I still think The Rock is going to be partially behind this whole thing, this second Bloodline. So
makes sense.
You got to get Rock Roman at this point, because I feel like if you drag this thing out another year, it's too much. It's too much. But Paul Heyman was doing an interview the other day, just saying, yeah, we got a lot to do with this yet. You don't know what I'm going to do, or Roman's going to do, or anybody's going to do.
Use his old, we're just in the third inning line, like he did a couple years ago, Mania in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Which made me think, oh, good God. So, yeah.
That's all right. We can get it. We'll say we're at about the sixth right now.
Sure.
So
I'll buy that.
Yeah. All right, so let's take our last break before we head out, and going to talk a little bit. Did you think we'd ever talk about Kenny Omega's colon on the show? We're gonna talk about Kenny Omega's colon. Plus,
right, here we go.
I watched the John Cena movie that is now #1 on Prime, called Jackpot. I got a review for everybody, and we got a whole lot more coming up. Stick around.
101.5 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
One more time, everybody. Thanks for being with us on The Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. I am the aforementioned one, Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Of course, Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Great podcast based out of Austin, Texas. You might want to just check that out. No, you must. You have to. Do my show, do Stu's show. You're going to have it covered. So please do that. And speaking of getting covered, I got to make sure I mention our good friends at Off Grid Creations. These guys are fantastic. Mike and his team are going to take great care of you if you need T-shirts, embroidery, promotional products. And the best part is they do a free consultation, and they're a very creative group. So they're going to sit down with you and help to develop your brand, not just say, oh, you know what, here, print this shirt. They are going to take care of you from the start to the finish. If they see something they think they can help you out with, they're going to help you. So please, wherever you are, you don't have to just be in Las Vegas. Give them a call, 661-300-1115, 661-300-1115, or you can visit the website at off-gridcreations.com, and you check them out on Instagram too. You can see all their great designs. So pretty cool stuff at Off Grid Creations. Stu, wanted to get your thoughts on Samoan Afa real quick. Of course, a few stints in the WWE, 3-time tag champs with Sika, his brother, and they were one of my favorite teams growing up. Your thoughts on the Samoans real quick.
Yeah, sad that we lost Afa. I saw somebody say, well, now the Wild Samoans are running wild once again, as we lost Sika just a few weeks ago. Iconic tag team back in the 70s and early 80s. You mentioned 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions. And then, everything he did for those in the business, ran the wrestling school and gave back. It was definitely a blow to the Anoa'i family, Roman Reigns, everybody there. But 81 years old, living a really full life and made the most of what he could do in the wrestling business. So, rest in peace to Afa. And as I say, yeah, he and Sika tagging up once again up in that ring up in the sky.
Yeah, good luck to everybody else because they were a couple of bad men. But
can we see that maybe them versus the Road Warriors?
Oh, that'll be fun.
That would be fun.
I'm sure Jesus is booking that match right now. But yeah, so our condolences to the Anoa'i family and everybody that was friends with Afa and Sika. So, Kenny Omega, who dodged death. Well, some details have come out about his surgery, Stu, and this was a little rough. Of course, we all know that he nearly died from the diverticulitis, but it was revealed by Michael Nakazawa, who's a good friend of his. They had to take out 25 centimeters of his colon. So if you're wondering why Kenny Omega is not back yet, that's a little rough to come back from. So he's been doing some light rehab and trying to, do what he can. But this is some serious surgery that he's having to do stuff in the pool and things like that and not doing a lot of lifting. So, your thoughts, Kenny Omega? Jeez, man, that's rough.
That is, first of all, 25 centimeters. That's not just a tiny little. That's a pretty good chunk of your colon.
Yeah.
Look, I love Kenny Omega to death. I think he, at his peak, he was probably the best wrestler in the world. It would shock me now if he makes a return to the ring because of this, the after effects of this. He basically can't take blows to the midsection. He can't do, even if he wanted to, his rehab would be lengthy because he's got to get back into ring shape, strength, the conditioning and everything. So as much as I would love to see him back in the ring, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. It's going to be, if he even can get back, this sounds like it's going to be 18 months to 2 years before he can even give it a shot. So we want to wish Kenny all the best. And we want to congratulate John Cena. He has the #1 movie on Amazon Prime. It's called Jackpot, which I watched last night. It's a story about a woman who wins this new lottery in LA. But the thing is, you got to survive till sundown after you win it, because if somebody kills you in that time, you get the money. And she had a $3.2 billion jackpot. So John Cena is one of the people that you can hire to protect. Fun flick. It's not going to win an Academy Award. I'll say that. But a lot of action. John was cool. I thought John did a really nice job. I think it's worth a watch for you if you want to see John Cena do something fun. So, like I said, they're not going to be giving out too many Oscars, but John was good, I thought.
Yeah. John Cena, Aquafina, one of the very unique sense of humor, unique comedian. And of course, she's been in several movies here now. It'll be fun to see the kind of chemistry they have on screen, but yeah, like you said, we're not going to see it on the Oscars, but could be one of those you go and just have a good time.
Yeah. And it was, a lot of action in there. I really enjoyed it. So, if you got an Amazon Prime membership, I say just take a look and supporting Big Bad John. It was a lot of fun. So there you go. And speaking of there you go, we're going to get going too. Wow, I can't believe 2 hours flew by, Stu. Flew by.
Boy, it did fly by. It was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, as ever, always with you. And, of course, once again, check out Stu's podcast, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Let's do a quick search on that. Of course, he's all over social media on that. And you can follow Stu at Stu Myrick on X. Stu, thank you so much, my friend.
I appreciate it, man. Looking forward to being your part of the world tomorrow, actually.
All right. Well, we'll have to do lunch.
Let's do it.
All right. Guys, thanks for being with us on the Mark Hoke Show. Hope you have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, MarkHokeShow.com. We've got all that great stuff coming up. And there's more announcements coming about some special giveaways we're going to be doing with our social media. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, Las Vegas.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit MarkHokeShow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Looking for high-quality custom screen printing in Las Vegas? Look no further than Off Grid Creations. Need a few custom t-shirts for a local event, band merchandise, or family reunion? We've got you covered. Large order of uniforms for your staff, sports team, or club? We can handle that too. Our experienced team will work closely with you throughout the entire process from design consultation to final product. Call us at 661-300-1115. That's 661-300-1115. Or visit our website at off-gridcreations.com. Get a free consultation today.